Josh here at Bixpy, and today we're going to show you how to use and take care of your Bixpy swim jet. Your swim jet is made up of two main parts, your Bixpy thruster and your Bixpy handheld power pack. Now your power pack comes in two different capacities. Your first being your longer lasting Scuba Edition pack. This pack is going to go for about 40 minutes of continuous full power motion. It also has a slight negative buoyancy to it. Next, we have our slightly smaller Snorkel Edition pack. This pack is going to go for about 25 minutes of continuous full power and also has a positive buoyancy to it, both of which are great for all of your diving and snorkel needs. Now let's show you how to connect the thruster to the power pack.
Remove the connector caps and store in a safe place for future use. First thing you want to do is check for dirt and/or damages to the connectors. You also want to make sure that this little orange O-ring on your battery pack is in place. Put some dielectric grease into and around the edges of your connector. If you're diving below 10 meters or 30 feet, make sure both your main connector and your charging port are completely filled with the dielectric grease. Place your thruster and power pack on a clean, flat surface. One thing to notice is the two small tabs on your connectors. These tabs will have to be aligned to the two notches that are on the thruster connector. One way to identify for yourself where your connector needs to be is by putting a small mark on one of the tabs. Align your connector pins together. If your connector tabs and notches are aligned, you'll be able to push the connector all the way in. Once the connector is in place, rotate the connector lock just about 180 degrees until you feel a counter lock into place. Although you will not hear a click, you will feel a subtle locking click as the connectors mate. Once you have your connectors mated, you can slide the front nose latch and lock in the rear spring latch for a tight and sturdy connection. The first couple of matings are quite a bit tougher as you're trying to break in the O-rings, but it will get progressively easier to mate your connectors. Remember, if you're forcing it, you'll break it. No pliers, no heavy tools are needed.
If your connectors are not mated properly and the water gets into the connectors, there is a chance that that water could potentially short the system and burn out the motor or the battery. If you suspect that water is in your connector, stop running the motor immediately. Take apart the thruster and the power pack and clean everything with rubbing alcohol. Let it dry completely and then put it back together and run the motor as normal.
To operate your swim jet, hold down your trigger mechanism for about 3 seconds until you hear a beep and see the LED status lights turning on. Once your LED lights are on, your system is on standby and waiting for you to engage the thruster. At this point, hitting the trigger and holding it down one more time will start the motor. A second click will get you going in second speed, and a third click will get you in full thrust. If you don't engage the system for about 10 seconds and have the trigger released, the system will turn off and you'll need to start it again by holding the trigger down for those initial 3 seconds. The motor will only run as long as you're holding the trigger. Letting the trigger go will immediately stop the motor. When using the jet, the best position to point the outlet is toward the midsection of your torso. You can hold the jet with one hand or use 2 hands to hold the jet, your preference.
Your jets require very little maintenance. After every use, clean them with clean, fresh water and store them in a dry place.
Never store your jet with a completely drained battery. You should charge your battery every 90 days to ensure function. Abandoned batteries may shut down and become unusable. Charging is simple. Plug your power plug into the wall. You will see a green light on your power adapter. Once you plug your charger into your drained battery, the green light will turn red, indicating that your battery is now charging. It will take about 90 minutes to charge your Snorkel Edition battery and about 2 hours to charge your Scuba Edition battery. Once the batteries are charged, the light will turn back to green.
Always use the charger that came with your power pack, and remember, the charger is not waterproof. Remember to read your user manual and follow the care and safety instructions. Have fun, and we'll see you on the water.